Tonight at Milan Puskar Stadium at Mountaineer Field, their beloved West Virginia Mountaineers play host to the Kansas State Wildcats. K-State has an opportunity and a share of the Big 12 title with consistency at quarterback and stability at the head coaching position. Against tonight, a reclamation project at West Virginia. They've gotten it done by way of the air raid offense of Dana Holgorsen. They are a tough out at home, and the West Virginia Mountaineers, led by Clint Trickett, getting a hug at home from his head coach, the transfer from Florida State, making his way onto the field, as are a number of other seniors who mean so much to this program. Hi again, everyone. Tim Brando. By my side is Joel Klatt. And for either one of these teams to get the job done tonight, they'll do it in a contrasting approach. One likes to do it on the ground, the other by way of the air.
I love this. This is what we always love to see. Which style and philosophy is going to win out? Is it going to be the coach in his mid-70s who will wait patiently for the opposition to make a mistake? He doesn't take chances. Or is it going to be the young Dana Holgorsen who wants to attack, especially with his defense, and force the action with the pressures and the blitzes? I can't wait to see which style wins, and the first team that imposes their will and their style on this game is going to have a great chance to win.
And yes, there are Final Four college football playoff ramifications all around this game, with interested parties in Columbus, Ohio, Waco, Texas, and Fort Worth. The kick is next. We welcome you back to Morgantown, West Virginia. Just a couple of moments ago, the third member of our broadcast team, Jenny Tapp, caught up with Dana Holgorsen. Jenny?
Tim, thank you. Well, Coach, you guys are back at home. The last time we saw you coming off a tough loss, but you've had the bye week to prepare for K-State. What's the key to coming away with the win tonight?
Well, you know, anytime you play a good, well-disciplined team like Kansas State is, you better do the same thing. You better be disciplined. You better take care of the ball. You know, ultimately it comes down to blocking and tackling, just being sound with what you do.
All right. Well, good luck tonight. Thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Tim, and on the other side of the field, head coach Bill Snyder's team, well, they're coming off a tough loss. They also had the bye week, and they'd like nothing more than to come away with a win tonight.
You're right, Jen, no question about it. But in his 24 chances after bye weeks in his history, he's 17-7. So he's one of those guys, Joel, that knows what to do with the extra time. What are the K Jewelers' keys to the game, Joel?
Well, for Kansas State, it's about staying on the field, and that's what they do. And it's key for them because they don't turn the ball over, and they're one of the leaders in the Big 12 and in the country in time of possession. For West Virginia, their defense so bad a couple of years ago, but they've built to a point where they're getting off the field on third down. They're doing it excellent. 31% the opponent is converting. That's 10th in the country. They need to continue to do that, get off the field, and force Clint Trickett to get back out there with the football, and Kevin White on the outside.
There's Mario Alford, number 5, back deep for West Virginia, awaiting the kickoff that'll come from Ian Patterson. They used 3 different kickers for Kansas State. They, you know, as you might expect, attention to detail for Coach Snyder.
That's right.
I mean, he's going to have the long ball kicker kick it off. He's got the consistent guy inside the 30, and Kentelly also has a pretty good pooch kick. And also back deep for the Mountaineers, you see number 1, Sheldon Gibson. And here comes the kick. It's Gibson from the 6-yard line. Angling to the wide side of the field. He gets it to the 20. Let's get the 3 things we need to know, Joel Klatt, when the Mountaineers have the ball.
Kevin White is one of the best receivers in college football, flat out. 1,200 yards receiving, 91 catches. He's physical specimen out there, 6'3", 210 pounds. Running back by committee. They'll start with Shell, number 7, in the backfield. And on the defensive side, they're built in layers, and they force you to snap the football. That penalty does not make it easy for West Virginia to go 90 yards.
There's Russell Shell, who's coming off a bit of an ankle tweak from the game with Texas. The extra time off aided him in being prepared to go tonight. Call it a gain of 3, maybe 4. 2nd and 7 coming up. Clint Trickett, boy, what an address change he made. The young man, his father's a coach at Florida State, as everyone knows, going deep this time. And there's a mix-up in terms of the route that was being run by Wendell Smallwood out of the backfield. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
That's a read route. He's reading the safety. Clint Trickett was expecting him to get the leverage there and go deep. Smallwood felt like he was going to hitch up and have the big completion for a first down. I thought that the receiver there, Wendell Smallwood, actually running back out of the backfield, was correct. Trickett trying to get a big completion there early in the game.
3rd down and 3. Play fake by Trickett. They go with a little screen. White. And that was well read. That's a scouting report defensive play right there. Evans 15 coming up. Sort of out of that nickel look to make the play, and it's 4th down in the punt formation coming up.
And you said it, it's the scouting of Kansas State, and what allows them to play the scouting report is that they don't have a lot of things in their defense that they're trying to do. They're simple, allows their players to play fast and understand what the opponent is trying to do.
Boot is a low one to Curry Sexton. And Lockett, I beg your pardon. It's Lockett who is, as you know, adept at this aspect of the game as well. The ultimate two-way go, Tyler Lockett, 16. He is something special. And here are the 3 things that we need to know, Joel Klatt, when Kansas State has the football.
Well, it starts with that guy, Tyler Lockett, on the outside. He's the career receiving yardage leader. He passed his father in that category. He's on his heels, by the way, in touchdown catches as well as overall catches. Ball control is the name of the game. They don't turn the ball over. Time of possession is always what they've been good at. And 3rd down for West Virginia, they are tremendous getting off the field. Opponent only converting 30% of the time.
It's where the rubber meets the road in this matchup, really, as you look at DeMarcus Robinson trying to stretch it out, but stopped a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage. Well, Lockett's already affected this game. We wonder if Waters will be able to find him in the passing game. He generally does. That's the highest in school history for him, the completion percentage this year.
Yeah, Waters has been so solid for them. He hasn't been great, but just so solid. And Dana Holgorsen from West Virginia actually said, as far as a combination runner passer, he's the best they've seen this season.
That was a 23-yard return by Lockett to give them this outstanding field position, though they now face a 2nd and 12. Trips wide receiver set to the top of your screen. Lockett with plenty of time. Finds his man. That's Cody Cook inside the 20 at the 17. 1st down, Kansas State. And he's a little woozy getting up.
Here's what I love about this is the patience from Cook on the outset. He's going to allow this to develop, force it to the outside, and then find the soft spot of the defense. That's exactly what Cody Cook does. And then it was Waters in the pocket who allowed it with patience to develop because the protection was there, and a big play for Kansas State.
Chestnut knocked him down. That surface is very hard. You're down on the field before the game to find that out. Dana Holgorsen said without a doubt, the most fundamentally sound team you'll play against. Play clock winding down. They get it off with 1 on that play clock. Waters with his quick feet keeping the play alive to Lockett. And he gets back near the original line of scrimmage. Pick up a 14.
This is what makes Lockett so difficult to cover, is that he's active. He's like a basketball player that moves without the ball. So difficult to defend him. That's what allows Waters to get outside of the pocket. Lockett's constantly moving. He moves back towards the sideline for him for a nice little completion and cuts that in half. And now you've got a 2nd and manageable at 2nd and 10.
Look at those that yardage and those catches. He's just been incredible. As we mentioned, 16 against Texas in the loss in Austin. 2nd and 10. That pass is batted down. It was intended for Lockett. He was going on the crossing pattern to him. Looked as though 93 Kyle Rose, the redshirt junior from Centerville, Ohio, got his big mid up there.
And here's their opportunity. 10th in the country, West Virginia on 3rd down. An opportunity to force a kick from Kansas State. It's always a win to force a kick. Field goal or punt. They've got a chance here.
Generally speaking, they like to blitz in these situations. And here they come. Over the middle and caught. Lockett inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. We got another marker down. Boy, they brought the house, didn't they?
They absolutely did. That's picked up the blitz beautifully up front. And again, it's just a short pass on the quick slant, so you don't need to protect all day. And Waters delivers it calmly.
1st and goal. Once again, well read. And it's Carl Joseph, number 8, the strong safety. He is a hitmeister.
And that was a pressure from the safety position. He's a captain on this team. He started since he was a true freshman back in 2012. 48 solo tackles this season. He is the hitter of this team. He brings the physical lumber. And that was an excellent dialed-up pressure from Tony Gibson, the defensive coordinator, to put Kansas State outside their own 10-yard line.
2nd and goal from the 12. Demarcus Robinson, the setback. Out of the shotgun. Lockett is down at the bottom of your screen. Robinson, nice stiff arm to navigate his way to the 7-yard line. Nick Kwiatkowski, number 35, with the stop, redshirt junior, Bethel Park High School.
I love what Kwiatkowski did there, because he was being blocked that entire time, and he stayed with it.
He did.
And made the tackle. But here's another one of these 3rd down opportunities for West Virginia.
See if they play it honestly or if they bring extra pressure on 3rd and goal. Trip set to the top of your screen. Time winding down, and there it is in the corner. Robinson. And what will the call be? Touchdown. A very delayed call. It appeared as though he had it, but one official needed guidance from the other. And they decided, yes, it counts. Touchdown, Kansas State.
And the protection was there again from the offensive line. West Virginia dropped 8 guys in coverage, and Waters had all day but nowhere to go with the football. And finally, out of the backfield, Robinson slipped out there. No one saw him. And what they're saying there is that he was not going to the ground immediately when he made the catch, but rather after he caught the ball and now turns to the left. Now the play is dead. He has established himself as a runner with the ball across the plane of the goal line. He does not have to control it through the ground. That's why they call it touchdown.
And I agree with that, don't you?
Absolutely. Good call by the officials. And I love that they conferenced to get that done. That's a well done.
And oh, by the way, we didn't have to wait for an official review upstairs.
Terrific.
7-0, K-State early on.
Kansas State scores on their opening possession, making it 7-0.
Great communication there between the linesman and the back judge. And to get it right without having to go to a review, I think that's the first time on a play even remotely close to that we've not had a stoppage of play for the replay booth to confirm it. I think that's just an excellent bit of officiating. Shelton Gibson takes it from the 6. And he forges ahead to the 25-yard line. 3rd and 11. Trickett. This time off the curl. Nice idea to find Kevin White. And he'll usher himself out with a little bit of help at the 42-yard line from Dante Barnett. That's a 16-yard gain and a 1st down.
And there's the patience I was talking about. The offensive line delivers the protection. Trickett steps up and takes what the defense gives. Kevin White, as good a receiver as there is in the country, to throw that curl route to.
Russell Fairchild was stopped at the line of scrimmage. Not much on 1st down on the ground. DeCorey Johnson, 32, again with the stop. Senior from Mesquite, Texas.
I love what's going on right now because the styles, the philosophies are playing out. Kansas State is forcing them to just snap the football over and over and over again, but you can see the patience playing out for West Virginia. Clint Trickett taking now the underneath routes, and that's allowing them to have some success.
2nd and 9. Again, the quick curl. This one to Mario Alford. He should have the 1st down inside the 20 at the 17-yard line.
This is when it becomes so difficult now, because as the field condenses, that space to throw underneath shrinks. And so you've got to spread the field out, and that's why right now they're in an empty backfield. All 5 receivers spread out.
Trying to speed it up. Play fake. Crossing pattern. Markers down. Alford, the intended receiver.
Pass interference. Defense, number 33. 1st down.
Sometimes you just have to admit I'm defeated, and he was.
Especially against a guy like Mario Alford, because he's the exact opposite of Kevin White. Kevin White beats you with physicality, 6'3", 210. Mario Alford is only 5'9", 177 pounds, but Timmy's all about speed, and you saw it on that play. Beats him to the inside. Morgan Burns, no choice but to hold on.
Smallwood and Elijah Wellman, 28, in the I formation. From the 2. Ball's on the ground. Fumble. Kansas State has it. Schellenberg, number 20, has it for the Wildcats. Holgerson in disbelief as Wendell Smallwood could not hang on. Mountaineers move it, but Smallwood really never got it in the breadbasket. Schellenberg right there to get on top of it. We'll be back. After the turnover, Kansas State takes over at their 4-yard line. Over the middle to a wide open Zach Trujillo. And the big tight end lumbers inside the 40 to the 35. 49 yards.
A breakdown in coverage allows Trujillo to get wide open. First a little fake, and I thought it held the linebacker long enough. That was the middle linebacker, Nick Kwiatkowski, that he wasn't able to get any depth in his drop back, and Trujillo was wide open for Kansas State.
Demarcus Robinson is the setback with Waters. And after that turnover and the stop by the Kansas State defense, they look to really lay claim to control of this game on this drive. Robinson again is stopped for little or no gain on first down by Carl Joseph.
And Carl Joseph played that so well because they're reading Carl Joseph in the zone read. And so Jake Waters comes out and he puts the fake out there and he's staring at number 8, Carl Joseph. And Joseph slow played it enough that he forced the handoff, and then he chased down the running back Robinson and tackles from behind. That's textbook from a safety position on a blitz.
Second down and 10. Waters. That's Sexton. And when it's not going to Lockett, this guy's pretty consistent too. Youngster from Abilene, Texas. Really comes back for the ball well, has a great sense for what's going on with Jake Waters. And it's another first down for K-State as we come down to the end of the first quarter. And this is exactly what Kansas State needed to have happen. Not fall behind early, right?
Well, and they needed to impose their style of play on this game. They've been able to do that. Jake Waters in Kansas State, an excellent first quarter on the road in Morgantown. An early 7-0 lead over the Mountaineers.
7-0 our score. The Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer lookalike is by my side, Joel Klatt, as we prepare for the second quarter of this game. The methodical nature of the way Snyder's team likes to play is in evidence here. 14 plays, 5 of them over 10 yards. They're moving the sticks the way they want.
Absolutely. This is what makes it so tough to beat Kansas State when he's got a second-year quarterback. Jake Waters is in his second year, and he just understands what the coach is trying to do with the style and philosophy of their offense, and he's taking what the defense is giving. Quarterbacks don't like this term, but it applies to Jake Waters. He's just a terrific game manager right now.
Waters to Lockett on the quick slant, and he was hammered by Darryl Worley.
Darryl Worley is the best defender on this team. Excellent NFL prospect at the corner position. Just a sophomore from Philadelphia. But watch how quickly he reads this, diagnosing what's going on. They're trying to run a little pick play.
Yeah.
Sexton never gets out there, and Worley reads it beautifully.
Second and goal.
Here they come with the pressure, man-to-man up top.
Fullback is Gronkowski. He is some blocker up front if they go with Robinson. And they go on the option, and the pitch gets away. All the way back to the 22-yard line. That was well set up, too. That might have gone for quite a ways, but the pressure did come from Tonkery, 37.
Tonkery comes, and it's just a blitz. You're wondering, well, why didn't they block him? Because he's the pitch player. The quarterback is trying to attack that player, and if that player takes the quarterback, he pitches the option off of him. The problem is Tonkery came in so quickly, Waters and Robinson weren't ready for the pitch.
So after that negative play, it's 3rd and goal from just inside the 20-yard line. Waters over the middle and thrown behind his receiver in the end zone. He had a very small window looking for Cody Cook, and the pass was just behind him, and it'll be 4th down and a field goal try coming up.
I know it was a difficult catch, but I thought Cook could have gotten this one. He reaches back, he goes for it with his hands, and it just goes right through his hands. I think that's an opportunity missed. That was a catchable ball.
Yes, it was. It was. Thrown a little behind him, yes, and into a tight window, but very catchable. Matthew McCrane, who's been more consistent, that's pretty consistent, 8 out of 8, will try this field goal from 36 yards, and he boots it through. Kentelly, of course, had the problems in the Auburn game, never really recovered from that. McCrane has been used consistently, and that's why. 10-0 Kansas State with the lead. Mario Alford and Shelton Gibson are back deep for the Mountaineers. They trail by 10. Kansas State taking advantage of a West Virginia turnover near the goal line, staving off their scoring opportunity and controlling the football and keeping this high-powered air raid offense off the field. Gibson dumped at the 27-yard line. Shell again ahead for about 4 this time, maybe 5, but just keep the explosive play from happening.
That's correct. And what they're banking on is that because they're so simple and fundamentally sound, Bill Snyder is banking on the fact that you will make a mistake as an offense before his defense does, and we've already seen that play out tonight.
That pass is caught by Jordan Thompson, and he's out to the 40-yard line of the Wildcats. 1st down.
I love it from Clint Trickett there. He had the patience to allow his wide receiver, Jordan Thompson, the time to get open across the middle, and then hits him with an accurate pass. Smith
And Cody Clay now in the backfield. Sort of an H-back, fullback type, number 88. Now they shift. It's 1st and 10. Nothing much to gain off the ground on the right-hand side, as you talked about that patience earlier on the prior play.
Yeah, you know, not much is made of, but needs to, for a quarterback to be able to hit that plant foot and throw the football on time across the middle, and he's got the pocket to do it with great protection.
2nd and 10. Mario Alford has a 1st down inside the 30 to the 27.
That's exactly what they need to do with Mario Alford. Speed is the name of his game. Played at the Georgia Military College before attending here in West Virginia. 53 catches on the year for 700 yards. He is a threat, and getting him the ball on the run is such a key.
Trickett. Pass was a little high for Alford that time. Off his fingertips.
We've had a few plays now just fingertips away from being made on that last completion to Alford. Johnson almost bats it down. Alford gets it for a 1st down on the last play. Alford unable to bring it in by a fingertip.
Blitz coming off the corner. They run Smith off the left-hand side as a result. And he gets it to the 25. Will Geary, who came into the game earlier for the injured Travis Britz, made the stop.
That's about the 4th or 5th time that they have blitzed the corner from the short side of the field. Kansas State clearly seeing something in the game plan, wanting to bring pressure on Trickett, forcing him to hand the football off in his check with me game.
They've converted 4 out of 6 on 3rd down. Turnover really hurt them, but nothing big has been yielded, and this time it's a sack. Back at the 30-yard line. Pressure coming from Marquell Bryant, number 45, junior from Skyline High in Dallas, Texas. And here comes the best kicker in the country, Josh Lambert. And we talked with Dana Holgerson about him. He says, you know, he's so good. He's affected the way I call a game. He's got some things in mind in terms of keeping the clock going the way he wants. This is going to be a 47-yarder. His longest is 55. Incredibly consistent. Just enough. On a cold, blustery night, that ball is awfully hard and doesn't travel as far. But Josh gets it done. Number 2 nationally in field goals. When we come back, Jake leads the Cats up by 7. 10-3 our score. Kansas State with the lead, and many times we talk about the upright or the crossbar can be kind. How about this one? I don't know that I've ever seen the crossbar, the pad behind it actually slam dunks the kick right here.
I mean, he just crossed that crossbar. What a kick, though, on a cold night from Lambert. Just proving again how good he really is.
You know, some fans have called into question Dana's play calling at times late in games, but he said, you know what? There are times when I'll slow my team down because I don't want to let, at the end of a half or the end of a game, the other team have the ball.
That happened against Texas Tech. He took 4 minutes off the clock in order to kick a field goal at the end to beat his old friend and pupil, Cliff Kingsbury.
And then Texas Tech really, their slide never stopped after that game. Here's Tyler Lockett. Out to the 25. Is there another ball? Is the ball on the ground? I think it is. West Virginia's got it. Damon Wilson, 25, comes out of there with it.
There's a flag down, Tim, but from where it was thrown, I think this is much more likely to be on Kansas State, giving West Virginia the ball. Lockett's an All-American. Shocking that he puts the ball on the ground.
Justin Arndt, 30, stripped it. And that led to the recovery by Wilson.
And really, for the first time all night, gets the crowd up onto their feet and gives them something to cheer about here in Morgantown.
I know I said it at the top of the show. This is as good as it gets along the eastern seaboard for college football fandom. They love their Mountaineers here. Shell is the lone setback. An opportunity now for West Virginia to cash in after the Kansas State turnover. Tie this game up potentially. Pressure from the backside, and Trickett didn't feel it until it was too late from Jordan Willis. Sophomore from Kansas City's Rockhurst High.
Willis just beat him with speed around the edge. Adam Pankey, just a sophomore from Hamilton, Ohio, number 57. The tackle just never quite got out of his set, and Willis just ran right around him.
They've really gotten pressure with 4, haven't they?
Yeah, they sure have.
2nd and 16. Shell almost to the original line of scrimmage in the arms of DeCorey Johnson, 32. And it'll be 3rd down and 11.
They have just kept that safety over the top of Kevin White all night, daring West Virginia to run the football, and they've done an excellent job up front of tackling the ball carrier once they give him the ball. But Kevin White has help over the top the entire time. See the safety creeping off the hash at the top of your screen.
On 3rd down, Trickett over the middle. That pass is tipped into the air. Oh, it's caught. That's White. Touchdown. Oh my. Mountain Mama, take me home, Kevin White. But here's the play again. Almost picked, could have been, probably should have been picked by DeCorey Johnson, but it comes right out of his hands.
No, that's Barnett, Tim. That's 22. Dante Barnett.
22, yeah.
Watch, he goes for the interception, rolls around the football. That never hits the ground.
No, that's touchdown.
What a play from Kevin White.
Remarkable.
What a turn of events.
Here it is, Barnett 22, not Johnson 32. It's 22. Has it?
Oh, that's a better angle.
Wait a minute. Oh, the ball may have hit the ground there. The cone of the ball might have touched the ground.
Incomplete pass. The ball is on the ground. It will be 4th down from the 23-yard line.
It will be 4th down and 11.
Please put 6:56 on the game clock.
Well, you said you wanted to see the fans get involved. I think they just did.
Well, now they're upset, but it was the correct call.
Here's Lambert from 40 yards. And this only adds to the misery index. You would never anticipate that. If you're looking for telling moments, you had the fumble by Lockett. You never expect that to happen on the kick. Then the touchdown that wasn't off the reversal of this call. Barnett did touch the ground. The football hit the ground as well. And White's miraculous catch was negated. And this really wasn't very close. K-State takes over at the 23. Waters shooting it for Lockett. He's got it at midfield and down at the 47-yard line.
You know, that's a great route and catch by Lockett. But how about the protection in the pocket? Waters has all day to throw, and right down the middle of the field, accurately to Lockett, who's so good. He's so precise with what he does and detail-oriented with his route running. That's why he's constantly open.
Jones stopped very quickly by Carl Joseph. In the ACC title game. Oh, there's another fumble. This one by Waters. Or Gronkowski, I should say, the fullback. The handoff to Gronkowski. He comes away with the recovery.
No,
Waters fumbled it. Gronkowski got it.
You were right the first time. A little quarterback power run from Waters, and he gets popped right there. Ball comes out, and Gronkowski alertly is right on top of it. Very fortunate bounce for Kansas State.
Things are going their way. Young man is an outstanding blocker and really their top receiving threat coming out of the backfield. 3rd and 3. Waters so resourceful back there. Now outside the tackle box, just says I'll live to fight another day and get to the sidelines.
Not a bad decision there. You know, just go ahead and punt the football. The defense has been playing so well, and they're going to have a chance to pin him inside the 20-yard line. That's when you got to just take your lumps. You had the personal foul and get off the field as an offense. But that's an excellent stop from West Virginia. Exactly what they needed here before the half is give their offense a chance to get back into a tie ball game situation here with 2:26 left.
Walsh will boot it away. Vernon Davis Jr. is back deep. This one going end over end. Bounds into the end zone for a touchback. See if Trickett can move this team down the field with 2 timeouts in his hip pocket. Go with a bubble screen look to Kevin White. Are they reading that? Are they smelling that or what? I mean, Randall Evans 15, the first to make contact, but so much of what this Wildcats defense is doing is a sign of great coaching, great preparation in this game for what West Virginia likes to do. Again, great penetration by the Kansas State defense against Shell on the running play.
And that was a great opportunity, Tim, because he was in one-on-one coverage for the first time tonight.
He's still pleading his case. I don't blame him. Kansas State does take a timeout. 3rd and 22. The ball was tipped into the air. Trickett had a screen set up that was going to be good, and it looked as though it was tipped by Elijah Lee, number 9.
Trying to run that short screen pass to Smallwood, and they run it quicker than most people. You know, that's a slower developing play, but West Virginia likes to get the ball out of the hand of the quarterback much quicker. And because of that, there's an opportunity for a guy like Elijah Lee to get his hand up and bat it down.
And it was set up to go a long ways had he been completed. Here's Lockett on the return. Tyler Lockett. He will not be stopped. Touchdown, Kansas State.
Lockett on the return.
38 yards.
For the Kansas State touchdown. What the fuck?
Well, he took one back, 58 yards against Texas El Paso. This punt had a low trajectory to it. He got it on the run, and with those open gates flying, he was not going to be stopped.
Those short punts that the returner can run into and get that momentum, like you were describing, especially with a guy as talented as the All-American Tyler Lockett. As quick as he can affect the game on offense as a wide receiver, he can do so even quicker in the special teams, and he does so again with another touchdown.
And the extra point makes it 17-3. Halftime here in Morgantown, 17-3. Now let's send you back to Rob Stone in Los Angeles. It's the Dell halftime report. Rob, take it away. Kansas State with the lead, and we welcome you back. In so many respects, this game in the first half, when you think about it, Joel, has been really about missed opportunities. A number of them, the plays that weren't.
Yeah, and it starts with the interception that then was a touchdown that wasn't. Oh, on the one play when West Virginia had the ball, and then it kind of spiraled out of control for them. There was the offensive pass interference call against Kevin White that I thought was incorrect. This is the interception that wasn't, that then was the touchdown that wasn't to Kevin White. A big momentum changer there. This call right here, and talked to Mike Pereira during halftime. He agreed with us, Tim, that should not have been called offensive pass interference. It led to a punt in which Tyler Lockett takes it back for a touchdown. Those three plays are why we're sitting where we're at in this ball game with Kansas State having total control.
You look at our first half stats presented by Geico. Total yards with the Wildcats, and I think the big key here is even though West Virginia's gotten a lot of first downs, they've had no big plays.
Yeah, they haven't, and they've been great stopping the run. Negative 3 yards for Kansas State in the run game. That almost never happens. They're just built on running the football.
This game
is those turnovers, have been costly, especially the one at the end of the half.
And think about it, Lockett, even though he had the touchdown return on the punt, and he also had a 26-yard return, Joel, he fumbled a kickoff. And no points came out of it for West Virginia, and that's very rare.
Yeah, they've had a couple of opportunities and haven't capitalized, and now Kansas State getting the ability to receive this second half kick, and the return game can be a part of the game because it's so cold, the ball is so cold. He's going to catch this at about the 5-yard line, maybe the 10-yard line, and have the ability to bring it back. He's had 4 kick touchdowns over the course of his career. One more would tie a Big 12 record.
Making his father proud every time he touches the ball and breaks another one of his records. Here he is from his 2. Gets it up to near the 20-yard line. Let's go downstairs to Jenny Taft. Jenny?
Thanks, Tim. Well, I talked to both coaches, and I caught up with Coach Snyder when he was walking off the field, and he said the only thing he was pleased about at that point was that they were winning. He was not happy about that missed field goal opportunity, and overall, he thinks the team needs to be moving the ball better. And on the other side of things, Coach Holgerson said, well, we need to play better on all 3 sides of the ball. We cannot go out and play that kind of football against K-State and expect to have success tonight.
First, Charles Jones is the lone setback on 1st and 10. We'll call it from the 12-yard line. Play fake. Waters. Flag is down. The pass is to Lockett, and he's got it out to the 26-yard line. We'll have to check the flag.
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense number 4. 15 yards will be added to the end of the run. First down.
So they get Riddick with the penalty.
Riddick is a pass rushing specialist. 6 sacks, 9 tackles for loss, a senior from Akron, Ohio, 6'6", 242 pounds. But with that speed and explosion, sometimes that hand just gets a little too high.
From the 43, first down. Snap is low. Waters handles it, gets it to Sexton. And Curry Sexton with another first down. This one to the 45-yard line. And Jenny Taft is standing by with a very proud papa.
Well, one player is having quite the night, Tyler Lockett. And of course, I had to find the family. I'm with Kevin, who is the dad. And you know, what is it like to be watching your son out here tonight? And also just, he's breaking some of your records. What kind of an experience is that like for you as a dad?
Well, it's pretty exciting. I mean, to have the opportunity to play for Coach Snyder and then to watch my oldest son have an opportunity to play for him. It's pretty exciting to be able to watch, and I'm glad he's doing so well.
What makes K-State so special?
Well, I think part of it is Coach Snyder, but a lot of it's just the people. I think the people are really like a family, and that's the experience that a lot of players have, and so that's why we love Kansas State so much. It's just a family.
Well, appreciate your time, and good luck to your son tonight.
All right, thank you very much.
Guys?
You know, I got to believe Kevin's really happy that Bill Snyder decided to have a curtain call.
Yeah.
And a second go-round.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And it's by no coincidence that during that interview with a family member, he mentions the word family. That's what this program is completely built on, and that's why the stadium in Manhattan is named Bill Snyder Family Stadium.
Jones is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Great penetration that time by Tonkery, 37. Redshirt senior. Waters, backside pressure, ball is loose. It almost was picked off. That was going to be a forward pass, and Pettaway had a great shot. Shaq Pettaway, as the defensive end off the right side with that pressure, they simply did not feel it. Waters normally would get away from this kind of pressure.
That was the safety, Carl Joseph. And he comes up and blitzes and gets all the way to the quarterback. Great effort, but unable to capitalize and fall on that football.
3rd and 13. Cody Cook just adjusted, moved in tight to help protect, and Waters is shooting it long for the corner and incomplete. Looking for Sexton. Quality coverage that time in the secondary by West Virginia's Jeremy Tyler and Drayvon Henry.
They brought the house on a blitz, and in the back end, I thought they did a tremendous job of passing the receivers off because they ran a bit of a pick play at the play's inception, and Sexton was running a wheel route down the sidelines, but they did an excellent job of diagnosing it, and then Henry, the true freshman, falls right into the lap.
This is a pretty long boot from McCrane, 44 yards. He's been consistent. He's not known for having a huge leg. Well, he got all of that one, though. Easily through the uprights. Consistency in the kicking game is something that Snyder really loves. In fact, in every aspect of K-State football. Mountaineers hold them to 3, but are down by 17. Look at Woodburn Hall here at Morgantown, West Virginia. Kansas State leading it by a score of 20-3. And during the break, we noticed that Clint Trickett was being escorted to the locker room. So at some point in that last series, or perhaps even earlier, he was having some issues. Skylar Howard may be called upon. We'll see how that affects what West Virginia's got going the rest of the way. Mario Alford and Sheldon Gibson await the kick. Patterson's boot as a low-line driver will be fielded off the bounce by Gibson. Cracked down at the 20. Enters Skylar Howard. Great upside to this guy.
Terrific upside. 6 foot, 206 pounds, Fort Worth, Texas. He was a junior college player as a freshman at Riverside City College. Helped lead them to a 10-2 record. Central Conference Championship, went all the way to the California State Championship game. Of course, California Junior College has their own league outside of the National Junior College Association.
On first down at Shell. Well, he managed to get 4, possibly 5 out of a play that didn't appear to be going anywhere.
Now Howard's got a little bit better athleticism and can run around a little bit more, and that's what hurt Kansas State against TCU with Trevon Boykin getting loose on the outside. I'm interested to see if they'll go with some zone read or try to get Skyler Howard on the edge in this first series.
Dreamer Smith is in the backfield. Play fake to him. And they go to Myers, number 19. His first catch of the night, the redshirt junior from Jacksonville, Florida, Dante Barnett with the tackle. Well, you raise a very interesting point because they're not accustomed to giving up over 40 points, and Boykin was the difference in that game against Kansas State. And they fell behind and had to try to score with them. In this game, they got control of the scoreboard and therefore have really forced their pace on West Virginia. 3rd and 2. Howard for a wide open receiver. Shorts. He's got it. Inside the 45 at the 42. And Skyler Howard has West Virginia moving.
Well, that'll calm you down on your first series. Howard read that beautifully and threw a nice ball on the outside to Dakeil Shorts. And he had all the time in the world. That's so important for a young guy that he gets in there. You want to give him some confidence by allowing him to make a read like they've done in practice. And the offensive line affords him that opportunity.
Smith and Wendell Smallwood are in the backfield. Crossing pattern caught by White. That's a first down at the 26-yard line.
Boy, excellent throw because the linebacker Jonathan Truman broke on this beautifully. Watch number 21 come into your screen right there, and he almost batted the ball down, but it was thrown with great velocity, which allows it to get all the way to Kevin White.
Smallwood keeps those legs churning and manages the 25-yard line. Mueller had a little help from Tonkery as well.
They've stayed consistent with the run game. That was their 23rd carry, but they're not even averaging 3 yards a carry because this defense is so tough to run against in their front seven. But they have stayed committed, which is going to help the play action pass and down the field passing game in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
2nd and 7. Smith trying to find the edge to the wide side of the field. Not much there. Morgan Burns coming up in support, the corner, to take him out, number 33.
You know, you're not going to get them with misdirection, and it's going to be very hard to break contain. You know, they are so fundamentally sound in their responsibilities that it's tough when you start running sideways like that. You just run into another player from Kansas State.
3rd and 6. Pressure off the edge. Here's that resourcefulness you were talking about. Look at him go. 1st and goal inside the 10 at the 7. DeCorey Johnson, 32, with a tackle.
Great decision from Howard. Tried to keep his eyes down the field, wanted to create a big play right here, but now he realizes I'm going to go get it with my feet all the way inside the 10-yard line.
1st and goal from the 7. Shell back in the game in the backfield. Skyler Howard across the middle. Touchdown, Kevin White.
Well, welcome to the ball game. Skyler Howard comes in totally cold and goes 4 for 4 for 56 yards and a touchdown to Kevin White. Boy, and those 4 passes were on the money. He didn't need much help from his wide receivers. He was putting it right in the breadbasket, wasn't he?
Yeah, indeed. Lambert for the extra point. Sometimes a pitching change will come in handy. The big catch came at just the right time. A 29-yarder to to Shorts. That was the longest, and it came from Shorts. And then Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard. Touchdown, West Virginia, 20-10. On the phone upstairs, and I'm sure very happy Shannon Dawson, the offensive coordinator, who's been, gosh, with Dana Holgorsen since his days at Mississippi College years and years ago. They've been connected for a long, long time. Dana's path to success had many stops at many different levels. He earned the right a long time ago for this chance. There's Lockett back deep, awaiting the kick. He'll take it at the 2. Wrapped up at the 21-yard line. Clotheslined there by Molinari. Jake Waters has had a quality night. Demarcus Robinson is in the backfield along with Gronkowski, the fullback. Waters for Sexton, he's got it. First down at the 42-yard line. Precision route by number 14.
And again, all the time in the world from the offensive line. Curry Sexton lined up on the inside of that trips receiver set to the top of the screen, and then he was running all the way to the corner. They clear him out with a couple of go routes. He breaks to the outside, wide open for a nice conversion.
First and 10 from the 42. That pass intended for Lockett, incomplete. Thrown to the back shoulder and low. Darryl Worley, the man responsible for coverage there for West Virginia.
Yeah, they've changed philosophies. In the first half, what they were doing is Darryl Worley went opposite of Lockett so that they could roll the other side of the coverage and put 3 or 4 players over Tyler Lockett. Now they're saying, listen, we need you to go cover him man-to-man, one-on-one, so that we can stop their run like we're continuing to do and cover the other 3 wide receivers. So he's locked up on the top. That's a great matchup. A couple of guys that are potential All-Americans.
Waters again with plenty of time. Passes low. Lockett, the intended receiver again. Quality coverage in that perimeter for West Virginia in that sequence, and a punt formation coming.
Yeah, I love what Tony Gibson was doing because he mixed up the coverages there the entire series. He blitzed on a couple of plays, sat back and dropped 8 and 9 into coverage like he did on that 3rd down, and ultimately forces a punt after his offense got the momentum. What a great series from West Virginia's defense.
Many a coach would tell you that Tony Gibson ought to be in position to win the Broyles Award. He's been a difference maker as defensive coordinator this year. Oh, that ball was touched. That ball was touched by Davis. And the recovery could be with Kansas State. He was trying to get away from it and then couldn't. Ball bounced right into him. And it's recovered by Couchman, Colburn Couchman, 57.
And Tim, they just made the announcement that penalty was a personal foul, roughing the kicker. So regardless, this is going to stay Kansas State's ball. It's either going to be first down.
Refused, recovered by the kicking team. First and 10, Kansas State.
Absolutely touched the returner there.
Yes, it did. Well, you got to clear out when you make the decision not to take it. Got it right on the tiptoes there. And Couchman, great job getting on top of it.
You know, Coach Wanstad always says, and this is what Dana is telling his young player here. He says in the special teams, the first rule in the kick game, you never let the ball touch the ground. If it has to touch the ground, you get away from it as far as you possibly can. There was no reason to be that close to the ball.
Jones is the setback. And he's actually running the Wildcat at quarterback. We talked earlier about his being used in that position from time to time, and they went Wildcat in that sequence. And now Waters will come back into the game.
This defense has done a good job. I mean, they have stopped the run. Kansas State has only run for -8 yards. -8. It's been all Waters through the air, and the defense now being asked again to bow their necks and force a field goal attempt.
Waters for Lockett inside the 5-yard line. They'll rule it a catch. First and goal from the 3-yard line.
Great time in the pocket again, and does he get his foot down? I believe that right foot was still dragging, and then he's got to control it through the ground, which he does. I believe that was a quality catch for a first down inside the 5-yard line. That's why he is so good. 7 catches tonight, and he's gone over the century mark.
Charles Jones is in the backfield, dotting the I formation. Gronkowski is the up back. Waters will keep it. Here comes the push. Gronkowski with a pretty good push that time to get his quarterback close to the end zone. They'll mark it at the 1, just inside the 1-yard line.
This is normally time for Charles Jones to come in for that Wildcat package, but they're going to stick with Jake Waters here. Jones is with him in the backfield.
Second and goal. Waters tries again. He's stuffed. I think he actually may have lost about 6 or 7 inches on that play. Third and goal coming up.
I think that was Shaq Petaway on the opposite edge. They've got some linebackers going up and over the top, but it was actually Shaq Petaway off the left side of the offensive line, the left side of that defensive line, and he popped Jake Waters pretty good.
Any chance of play action here?
I love play action on third down.
Okay.
You've got to sell out to stop the run as a defense, and you got Tyler Lockett out there going one-on-one.
Here we go. Trujillo is the tight end, 85, if he were to sneak out. They go option. Waters stopped behind the line of scrimmage. K.J. Dillon, number 9, the Spur linebacker with the penetration.
And that's twice now that they've tried to run the same type of option play. What's going on is that the fullback is on what's called an arc technique, which means he's going to come out, let the defensive end go, and then go block the guy who's responsible for the running back. The problem is Waters is not prepared to pitch that ball, and K.J. Dillon forces him to keep it inside. He doesn't want to go in there. It's not blocked for him to go inside, and they force a field goal attempt.
McCrane's been so very accurate. Boots another one through. And the turnover. Again, a special teams breakdown by West Virginia set up the field goal. Kansas State converts. You gotta back away from those. Vernon Davis didn't, but the defense had the Mountaineers back. And it's now a 13-point game here in Morgantown. With Joel Klatt and Jenny Taft, Tim Brando, happy to have you with us. Skylar Howard in his first series, 4 out of 4, got the job done. 56 yards and a touchdown. He'll get his second crack at it since taking over for the injured Clint Trickett, who was taken to the locker room in the early moments of the third quarter. Mike Pereira is also with us back in our studios in Los Angeles. He's already been put to quality use tonight on an overturned touchdown that we had in the first half. Mario Alford, Shelton Gibson back deep. It'll be Gibson. Gibson down at the 22, maybe the 23-yard line. A lot of interested parties around the country and specifically in the Big 12 footprint in places like Fort Worth and Waco as K-State vies for a share of the Big 12 title. We shall see what transpires in the fourth. All bundled up with the fourth quarter yet to play. 23-10 our score with Joel Klatt and Jenny Taft, Tim Brando. A lot of times when you have a pitching change, and sometimes it's just by accident, right? A guy gets hurt, and all of a sudden the defense has to make a change. I'm curious whether this K-State team is really ready for Skylar Howard.
Well, it's definitely a different game plan with him, and
And as we come back on first down, it's Smallwood taking the little dump down from Skylar Howard, who replaced Clint Rickett early on in the third quarter of tonight's game. And the young man from Fort Worth is going to have to lead this team if they are going to come back and pull it out. It's second down and a yard to go, just shy of the 30. Shell and Smallwood in the backfield. Russell Shell has the first down to the 32. Dragged down by Dante Barnett.
Yeah, Barnett's played a wonderful game tonight, both in pass coverage and filling up in run support like on the last play. He does a great job of filling from the inside out. Doesn't allow the cutback lane from a running back.
Out of the shotgun, Howard. On the check down, he goes to Russell Shell and nothing doing. He may have been stopped at the line of scrimmage, possibly lost a yard. Johnson with the tackle.
Yeah, that's where you're better off sometimes throwing the ball away, you know, rather than taking a minus play like that. DeCorey Johnson with that open field tackle.
Alford appeared to be running free on that play. Didn't find him at 2nd and 11. Over the middle and caught. Shorts. That's been the target really since Skylar Howard came into the game. He's caught 3 from him, and they've all been big.
Yeah, that middle drag route about 10 yards, 15 yards deep. Kansas State is saying you can take that all day long. We're just going to continue to rally up and make the tackle.
Just over 8 to play. Shell again. To about the 47-yard line this time. Jordan Willis 75 with a stop.
I have to start going a little bit quicker just because nothing has come quickly, so you can't expect that you're going to be able to score in the last 2 minutes all that easily against this Kansas State team.
2nd and 8. There's Alford. Mario. Super Mario. Giddy up, Mario. It's a touchdown for Mario. He was open on a couple of plays ago, and he didn't see him. He found him that time really on the same route, Joel. And boy, how about the afterburners?
Well, he showcased that 100-meter speed that he won the Georgia 100-meter state championship with in high school. Ran a 10.7 as a senior in high school in the 100-meter, and he showed it there on a cold night, running away from everybody for the touchdown.
Just like that, it's 23-17. And boy, oh boy, those opportunities, particularly in the special teams missed by K-State, could come back to haunt them. 3 catches, 75 yards. That one a biggie for a touchdown.
Well, right when we said they couldn't score quickly, I mean, that, you know, big plays don't happen against Kansas State. They've given up the fewest plays of 30 or more yards in the Big 12.
Now that's the first explosive play they've given up tonight. Tyler Lockett is back deep. He'll let this one go out of bounds. That's a mistake. That will give quality field position now at the 35-yard line to Kansas State. Well, Kansas State has not been able to run tonight, therefore unable to grind the clock, and you know that's what they want to do here. Trying to get to, let's see, the plus yardage on the ground on the evening. They've been at minus yardage much of the night.
And they're still going to be there. You know, I think they're probably, what, -2, -3 right now? And they haven't taken a sack. You know, they haven't done that with sack yardage. It's just been excellent defense up front from West Virginia.
2nd and 5. This pass is incomplete. Intended again for Deontay Burton.
Boy, this defense has just been so good. They've been so good on 3rd down tonight. Kansas State is only 2 of 10, but the most important is this 11th try.
Well, let's see how the senior from Council Bluffs, Iowa, Jake Waters, handles it. 0 for their last 6 on 3rd down conversions. Waters zips it, and it's caught by Lockett. Tyler Lockett could have had 6, but the shoestring tackle by Ickey Banks saved the day. Boy, is he good. Lockett is so very good at crunch time.
And when you give Waters this much time, Lockett's going to get open. He's too good and precise with his routes. He's too fast out of his break. And Darrell Worley is no longer on the field to cover him up, the great corner from West Virginia who left with that shoulder injury. Lockett is just sensational. 179 yards on the night.
I think that shoestring tackle left Lockett limping, too. He's being tended to. Over 1,000 for the season now for him in the air. Waters on 1st and 25. Takes it inside the 35 to the 33-yard line, and it looks like Waters is slow to get up. 2nd and 18. Got to understand when there's a back shoulder throw being thrown.
Absolutely.
It's part of the game. Blitz coming, Waters pass. There's another one. Lockett's got it just shy of the first down by a yard.
You know, and if I'm a West Virginia fan, I'm thinking to myself, that's the exact same thing that he did on the previous play that drew a flag, because he's going to put that hand right on Banks's hip right at the end right there. That was probably even more of a little tap to get a little separation. So not understanding what's going on. But listen, hey, that's the way that they're going to call it. And now it's a 3rd down, and your defense has got to bow up and try to force a kick here.
DeMarcus Robinson, the setback. Waters keeps it. I don't know. The spot looks to be short. Line judge is coming in. Left foot spot. I think it may be short.
Looks like he's got to get all the way to the 15, and he's short of it.
Yeah, it's 4th down. Now you put it away, really, potentially with a field goal. It's a 2-score game if you make it. But again, they botched the last one with a high snap.
And the kicking game for both teams has made a lot of mistakes. Remember, those are the players that are just standing on the sideline the entire night and then asked to come out in one situation. And here you go, a cold kicker.
K-State's used up their timeouts. Play clock winding down. They just get it off. I mean, they rushed out there to get that field goal through. Otherwise, they would have been penalized. 32 yards, and McCrane puts it through. So he atones for the miss that really was brought on by a high snap a bit earlier. Makes it a 9-point game.
Hit that one confidently. And like you were saying, a great snap. Good hold.
Dalton Converse is the long snapper. And a relieved kicker atoning for what had been a miss earlier. Mario Alford and Sheldon Gibson are back deep for West Virginia. Patterson's boot. Fielded by Gibson. Oh, looks like a bit of an opening on the left-hand sidelines. Look out. Need to score quickly. And he gets it up to the 45-yard line. Great field position from which to strike for the Mountaineers. Dreamer Smith, the setback, along with Wendell Smallwood. Skylar Howard's pass is overthrown and almost picked off.
Boy, that's a game right there in Barnett's hands, and ricochets off, and West Virginia survives to play another down here. That's pretty typical of a young quarterback. You go out in this situation, you think that you need to score right now, but it still has to be there. You can't just force the ball down the field blindly.
2nd and 10. Skylar's pass is incomplete. Looking for Smith on the check down, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and alertly he knew, 1, it was a forward pass, 2, he was 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and so he let that ball. You could tell he reached up for it and then brought his hands back, thinking, boy, an incomplete pass is a lot better than me catching this for a 6-yard loss.
3rd down and 10. Dump down to Smallwood. He gets it out to the 48, maybe the 49-yard line. And our Right Stuff player of the game, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, is Tyler Lockett. And he had 16 in his last offering, 10 tonight for 196 yards. And, oh, by the way, a punt return for a touchdown to go with it. 4th and 8. Last gasp for the Mountaineers. Howard, that's complete. Mario Alford coming off the touchdown a moment ago, has it inside the 35-yard line.
And with 3 timeouts, this is still a lot of time.
Howard looking for some help. Across the middle, incomplete for Alford. Overshot him just a bit.
The double coverage on Kevin White, you know, if West Virginia is going to do this, it's got to be the other wide receivers, Da'Keil Shorts, Mario Alford, maybe Smallwood, Smith out of the backfield, because Kansas State is not going to allow that man, Kevin White, to get deep. He's double covered every single snap.
2nd and 10. Smallwood. Wendell Smallwood has it inside the 25. That'll move the chains and stop the clock in so doing. Still a full complement of timeouts remaining for West Virginia. This pass is caught at Shorts again. Another first down. Move the chains. No need to call a timeout. Dante Barnett with the tackle.
That middle of the field's been open all night. It's open again. You just have to be ready to take the hit from the safety.
Smallwood bounces inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line. Schellenberg with the stop, number 20, and a timeout finally necessary with 1:24 remaining. Holgerson decides to take it now. Second and 7 from the 9. Howard runs right into Ryan Mueller. What a hit. 44 just came in there almost unabated. And that really puts them behind the 8 ball. Clock ticking, 3rd down, and now it's a long way to go. And they're running out of time. Howard dumps it to Smallwood, and he gets as far as he can inside the 10 at the 8. But it's a 4th down coming up.
Ryan Mueller, the big hit on Skylar Howard. Mueller, last year's defensive lineman of the year in the Big 12.
Well, you got to score twice.
Yeah, and they're going to take the field goal now.
Right. And try to do so.
The only guy not on the field is the kicker.
Lambert the last to get out there, but the play clock is winding down. They should have plenty of time here. Pretty severe angle left from the right hash. Lambert puts it through to make it a 1-score game with 2 timeouts left and 53 seconds on the clock.
Now they're going to have to go out and execute an onside kick.
They are 1 out of 3 this season with onsides. And the hands team for Kansas State will be called upon.
I was walking on the field before the game, and this is as hard a surface as you'll find
it is
in college football.
Yeah.
It's also, Tim, one of the only fields left that still has a crown. So this ball will not only be bouncing on a very hard field, but will be going downhill. This is not a flat surface.
If you played the game, and certainly you did, you know the difference, and it's big, and it's especially big with onside kicks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kansas State knows it's coming. It's a question of execution now for Lambert. And it's going to be covered up by the Wildcats. Beautifully done. Number 48 on top of it. Gronkowski, the fullback.
One of the most sure-handed fullbacks in the country. Great receiver out of the backfield. He's in on the hands team. And he does exactly what you're supposed to do. Cover that ball up. 6'3", 234 pounds. His brother, of course, Rob, plays for the Patriots. Glenn doesn't quite have that Rob Gronkowski flair to him. Of course, he plays for Bill Snyder, so you know, it's,
I don't think that kind of flair is allowed.
It's not allowed.
No,
Bill Snyder is a guy that likes to do things by the book, does an excellent job. And now, since the start of 2011, these Kansas State Wildcats have won more Big 12 games than any other team in the conference.
It is amazing. And I know they've already named the stadium after him. He's on the ballot for the College Football Hall of Fame. He's going to go in, as you know, this year. Amazing to think of what this man has done.
And he's also on the ballot for the Maxwell Coach of the Year again this year. He's already been National Coach of the Year, what was it, 5 times?
Yeah. I mean, and again, I don't know. I've been at this a long time, and I don't know of anyone ever in college football that retired and came back and had a curtain call any greater than this man.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
He's getting a little chippy down there here at the end on that 3rd down play, and it looks as though they may have to actually punt this football. Yeah, maybe not. I think the clock is back on their side.
Well, they're definitely going to have to snap it. They'll probably take a delay a game and then decide whether they actually want to kick the ball.
I don't think that I don't know that you want to actually punt it when you can run it out. We'll see. There's about an 8-second, 9-second discrepancy.
Five-yard penalty, 4th down.
You know, there's a couple of ways to do this. You can have your quarterback take the snap, run directly backwards, or pitch the ball to your back man.
That's what you do, right? Just run backwards and then sit down. Looks like that's what they have in mind. Oh, he's going to throw it. And it's picked off. And that's the way the game ends. Officially ends on an interception by Rumpf. Jenny Taft, you're standing by a legend, and he got another victory on the road tonight in the Big 12. Go ahead.
Well, Coach Snyder, you guys are known for being a very disciplined team. How would you evaluate tonight's performance?
Probably as undisciplined as I can ever remember. We really didn't play well, and that's not to take anything away from West Virginia, because I think they're, you know, really an up-and-coming football team in our conference, but we really did not play well. Defensively, we played pretty well until late in the ball game, but offensively, we were not very good. We had some struggles in the kicking game.
What would you like to see specifically changed offensively?
Well, we'd like to run the ball and get a yard or two would work for us. You know, we threw the ball all right. We just didn't run it well.
All right, well, congrats on the win, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, dear.
That is Jenny, welcome to Sideline Reporting. You just got the Bill Snyder walk and talk.
Yeah.
You know, now you're here. Now you've arrived. It wasn't pretty, like Bill Snyder said, like we've said. But ultimately, the only thing that's important is that you go on the road, especially a chilly Morgantown, and you get the win. And that's exactly what Kansas State was able to do.
By the way, he's 18-7 now in 25 games played in his career after a bye week.
That's pretty good.
All he remembers are the 7 losses. I talked to him about him. I talked to him about it today. And for Joel Klatt and our entire Fox Sports crew, Tim Brando saying our final score 26-20. Right now, let's get you to Fox Sports Live. Gentlemen, take it away.